and welcome to this week's episode of the Movie Dump Podcast.
Where we ask classic questions, such as why ask why, drink Bud Dry.
Do they still make Bud Dry?
No, it sucks, so they got rid of it.
What was Bud Dry? Was that like a darker beer?
No, it was back in the day where it was like, less filling, more flavor, not quite Bud Ice. I don't know.
It's like the light version of Bud Ice.
I was too young to drink, I couldn't tell you.
Huh.
Bud Dry.
Bud Dry, that's right. Look it up, it's classic. Sort of like this movie, actually.
This movie kind of gets a bad rep for what it is. I really enjoyed it. This week, it was a up in the air on 4 different Sylvester Stallone movies that I chose that you, the fans, voted for, and came down. There was a tie, so I said, "All right, whichever one came in the mail first, that's the one we're gonna do." And lo and behold, Judge Dredd.
So it's fair to say this is a fan pick. Then.
Yes, this was a fan pick. It actually came down to this,
towards
and
these half of the fans picks.
Yeah,
because the other
half
voted
of the fans
for
picked.
This came down to like the official movie dump, official coin, official flip.
Yeah. It was this one.
It's very official.
And Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So we chose this one, and I'm actually kind of glad because, especially after last week, this was a really good movie to cleanse the palate.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I was. I think this is a very what's the word I'm looking for? I think this was like this gets a bad rap. This movie gets a far worse rap than it really should have gotten. I think.
Well, I mean,
but that being said, it still wasn't all that great. But
yeah, well, it's sort of weird because this movie is actually one of my guilty pleasure movies. Like, along with like Waterworld, where you shouldn't watch it,
Waterworld
but you
is
do.
Yeah, Waterworld is definitely a guilty pleasure. I wouldn't call this a guilty pleasure because I would be more inclined to admit that I like watching this movie more than I would admit liking to watch Waterworld.
Well, this movie. When did this come out? This was like
95.
Yep, 95.
I think like every movie that came out around that time was almost pretty much a guilty pleasure movie. Like every big budget.
Yeah, there was a lot of movies around in that era. It was like it was somewhere after Blade Runner. All of these movies that depict the future in a very gloom and doom way. And where capitalism,
very industrial,
industrialism, and everything is
Metro City One or Mega City One,
Mega City One, Mega City One, and there's advertisements everywhere.
It was almost steampunkish, I think.
Yeah,
sort of. Yeah, I mean, it was sort of a mix between Blade Runner and The Fifth Element, almost kind of.
Which Fifth Element came out in '97, so
maybe it's an evolution thing.
Reploids all over the place in this
because you really don't see that a lot now in films nowadays, which would be kind of interesting because they're remaking Total Recall, and Total Recall kind of falls into this type of film style. So
they gotta have the triple-breasted hooker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The staple has to be.
You have to have that. Yeah. So I wonder how that's going to look. If it's going to try to keep with the same style as this, or they're going to go with a more modern realism type of feel to it. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Yeah. But that's a totally different movie. This week we watched Judge Dredd, so let's talk about that.
Well, they're remaking Judge Dredd also.
Are they really? I remember hearing about that, but I didn't know if that actually got greenlit or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah. Now did it get greenlit the same way that RoboCop did, where it was greenlit, then they scrapped it, and they brought it back, then they scrapped it again?
It became like a miniseries on Sci-Fi.
That was awful. That was awful.
No, I think it got greenlit. I think it did. I'm not sure if they're really filming it right now or anything like that. But
I haven't heard any real news on it.
Yeah, this one's supposed to be a little bit more faithful to the comic, I think, and I think the bad guy's supposed to be Judge Death in the new one. I think. So.
Okay. Now I never read the Judge Dredd comics, so I came into this not having any type of knowledge of backstory or any type of history there or world there. It's just all fresh. The only thing I know is the movie. So
yeah, I think a lot of people saw this movie before reading the comics.
I think Well, it's the same way with like movies like Howard the Duck. Like you look back, you're like that
was a comic.
That's a comic book character from Marvel. Shit.
Well, going back and seeing like the comics, I'm like, this is actually a pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty decent comic actually. I kind of like the whole like kind of philosophy that they threw in there, and just the whole style of storytelling that they did. And Like, I get the points that they did, and here they didn't really. I mean, it was kind of like they threw the same characters in and stuff, but it was a little bit different. Like Judge Dredd, I think the biggest thing, flaw for me in this film is, you got Judge Dredd that's, he always looks the same. He's always got the helmet on, stuff like that. And this one, they immediately, cast out Judge Dredd and, they just put him in, civilian clothing, and he's out in the wastelands running around without, all his Judge Dredd shit. So it's kind of like they made RoboCop, and he's RoboCop, but they didn't give him the suit or something like that, or any of the stuff that he does. So,
well, I can understand the whole casting out. Now he's in civilian clothes because he was found guilty of murder, and they stripped him of his title. So that's
it would make sense. I could see that happening, but in this film, I would think that would be a good sequel or something like that. You need to establish the Judge
that would be
Dredd,
that would be a sequel. Okay, I understand. You have to kind of build the character of where this came from, which they tried to throw that in there with the backstory.
They kind of sprinkled in the story, and they did a good job
of his origins.
Yeah, they did a good job of explaining stuff, to people that are just brand new. This broke one of the rules that I always have as well too in movie making is. You shouldn't start a movie with a voiceover and text flowing explaining, the scenario. Star Wars can get away with it.
I was just going to say, because that totally didn't work for Star Wars at all.
That's the only one you get away with because that's so fucking far out there.
But Star Wars also had their gimmick of movie starts with the title, flies in, and then you have this scenario that sets up the whole story, and that's it. It goes straight into the movie. You don't even have the credits or anything. This had the credits, and then your little, all right, well, this is what's happening, painting the picture.
At least with Star Wars, it does that whole opening credit type thing, but you didn't really need that for the movie. This one, it's kind of you needed that to get that scenario of what was going on. If you just wanted watching Star Wars without that opening title scroll, you'd still get the point of everything and understand, okay, this is a sand planet, they're rough,
See,
aliens, stuff like that,
See, I'm thinking, this movie actually, they could have probably taken it out,
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stuff they could have taken out.
Yeah. I mean, because the movie, it's not in such a, the movie is obvious enough what's going on that you can sort of you'd be able to easily pick up what's going on. I don't really think that
it's stuff like that could be explained somewhere in the film. Calling back to Total Recall again, I have a feeling that we're going to keep doing that, especially
still
since...
Still wouldn't compare it to... I always compare this to Demolition Man.
Well, to me...
it's right in that same genre. There was a lot of movies around, in the same sort of age area, or I guess year area, that were pretty similar, because it was all a core group of action stars who were doing them. So,
well, to me, the movie is just sitting right in my line of sight here on my DVD collection. So I just keep seeing Total Recall, and look, what's right underneath it?
The
Fifth Element. Yes.
Followed by Gangs of New York and Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah. Which have complete similarities to... Oh, wait a minute, never mind.
So it's kind of almost alphabetical.
I can see how this is very, relative to Animal House and Platoon also.
Yeah, and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and MASH.
And now that we know it's on Ben's movie...
and then right above that we have Life of Brian, Holy Grail, and
Amelie.
All right, so
eclectic collection.
But yeah, with Total Recall and with The Fifth Element, movies like that, which are both set in the future, everything is built up the same type of way. You don't have anything that really explains what time frame is this, and why is everything like this? It just kind of does that over.
Yeah, it does.
But on the other hand, do you really care what time frame this is? What point in the future? No. Especially now with a movie like that, which is just completely dated anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually pulled that opening monologue, which coincidentally we compared it to Star Wars, and it was.
Yay!
It was Darth.
It was.
It was Darth Vader doing the narration on it. Yes.
It was.
Yes.
Do you want to play it?
Yeah, I'll play it.
In the third millennium, the world changed. Climate, nations, all were in upheaval. The earth transformed into a poisonous, scorched desert known as the Cursed Earth. Millions of people crowded into a few megacities where roving bands of street savages created violence the justice system could not control. Law as we know it collapsed. From the decay rose a new order, a society ruled by a new elite force, a force with the power to dispense both justice and punishment. They were the police, jury, and executioner all in one. They were the judges.
All right, so there you go.
I think we should just have James Earl Jones read the synopsis of all of our things.
I was
That'd
thinking
be
the exact
awesome.
same thing.
You're
You know,
fired,
awesome.
Scott.
Oh,
Hey, Scott, if I were you, I'd be proud to be replaced by James Earl Jones.
I would, but then why would I spend my lonely Friday nights?
Listening to James Earl Jones.
Oh,
You can bring him coffee.
problem solved.
Yeah, so there you go. That sets the movie up, which, like we said, I think that was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, there was a lot of unnecessary stuff that you just don't need. Like, why was Rob Schneider in this film?
I think
You know, he didn't.
He didn't really do anything. He was just
What? Yeah, he did.
He
didn't
actually,
do it.
as
He
much
didn't
as
need to
as his characters sort of annoy me sometimes,
Yeah.
I don't think that he was that bad in this movie.
No, I thought he was.
He was
okay
pretty good
in
at
the
this.
They just
film,
sort of they tamed him down.
He
I
was
guess.
he was there. He was supposed to be the character that helps Judge Dredd realize that the law does make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll go for that.
He was supposed to be the the sidekick that kind of shows him the errors of his way.
Why was the giant robot
Until
in
the
this film?
end.
The giant robot was in there because apparently Rock'em Sock'em Robots is really popular in the future, and it has become life size,
There you go.
like real steel. Coming soon to theaters near you.
You know, there was one thing that I think they did really right in the comic book, I think, is that they never took Judge Dredd's helmet off. And I was reading an article.
You already said that.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't say why.
Oh,
So I'm going to tell you now,
sorry.
asshole.
I'm sorry.
Oh man.
So they never took his helmet off in the comic, and none of the judges really showed their face or anything like that. And the writer said that they're never going to do that because they want to get that vibe across that law has no face. I'm like, that's kind of
Like
an
justice is
interesting-
blind. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I'm like, that kind of makes sense. But then I'm like, well, then why would they even hire Steven or
Sylvester
Stallone?
See, you're
Yeah.
doing it too.
Yeah.
All last week I kept saying Steven. I wanted to say Steven Seagal.
Sylvester Stallone in this? So, well, you can. I suppose if they had to hire somebody for their chin, it was either that or Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have a very strong chin. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't hire someone like I don't know,
Colin for
Any of
I don't
us.
know.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
Joe
it's a
Pesci.
tiny.
Can
touch.
you imagine
Robert De Niro is
Joe
Judge
Pesci
Dredd.
as Judge Dredd? Wow,
Oh,
that'd be
that would-
interesting.
Woo.
Yep.
I knew you'd say that.
Oh, Judge Dredd, it's like you're right here in the room with us.
Oh, well, it's funny. There's a couple phrases that are it's kind of funny. You always have a one-liner in these action films, and he had
Which you kind of lost nowadays.
he had 3 one-liners in this, and he used them a lot of times in this.
Well, he had repetitive one-liners, and he had one-time one-liners, I suppose, more towards the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, you have to have that that one liner at the end of the movie that kind of seals the deal.
Yeah. Like when you're
I'll
trapped,
have cream with my coffee.
when you're trapped in that school with that evil teacher killing the entire class, and you finally kill the teacher. You're like, class dismissed.
Yeah.
Was that good? That was good, wasn't it?
Keep the change.
Oh.
You're fired.
Uh,
I am the law.
I'm the law.
yes, you are, Judge Dredd. You are the law.
And then he had this one too.
That's not not this movie.
I know.
Sure?
I know these
Yeah.
movies sort of blend together in your mind, but that's you shouldn't be tampering with the
Come on.
soundboard like that. Come on, you're gonna confuse the viewers.
We're not even that far into the podcast, and you're already throwing out other randoms.
That's
Oh, come on.
jeez.
Well, maybe this one was in it.
Like the guy says, you're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna trap thunder.
Okay, can we move on?
Man, it's like you're not even trying anymore.
Yeah.
It's like we have a whole bunch from this movie.
Let's just move on to where he fought the Russian. Because that was a good one.
I must break you.
Opulence. I hesitate.
Yeah.
All right, so where did we leave off on this? One-liners and Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider
Rob
is
Schneider
a stapler.
is a hacker in the future.
Yeah,
He gets wrongfully accused by Judge Dredd, but then befriends him later on when Judge Dredd has the law turn on him.
I think he wasn't even really.
Rob Schneider stars in Best Friends Forever.
With the law.
So he wasn't even really. He wasn't even that great of a hacker in this. I just don't think they needed. I don't think they needed him. They didn't need the giant robot. They didn't need the credits at the beginning of the film.
Well,
I think they needed
Rob
Rob
Schneider
Schneider's
did
character.
take care of the giant robot.
Yeah.
And Rob Schneider did bring in a little comic relief when you needed it. Because, I mean, let's face it, leave comic relief up to Sylvester Stallone.
Not to mention, he's stuck out in the desert without somebody. You're just stuck with,
you have
his inner
Castaway.
monologue.
You have Castaway.
Do we really want to have, Sylvester Stallone's inner monologue going?
Yeah. As much as I like Castaway, it works with with an actor like Tom Hanks. It doesn't work with, Rocky.
Volleyball.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. No. Now, if he had the robot from Rocky 3, was it Rocky 4? Yeah, it was Rocky 3 or 4.
3, I think.
3. Yeah, if he has that robot,
there's one
then
thing.
Maybe
There's one thing I really wish they put in this movie, and in the comics, there's a character that is Judge Dredd's. It's like his house robot, and his name is Walter the Wobot.
Wait. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Walter the
Wobot.
Wobot.
Mm-hmm. It has a speech impediment. It's a robot with a speech impediment.
Can't you just get that fixed? Who the fuck would make a... let's make a robot with a speech impediment.
Oh, no, I'd totally keep that. That'd be awesome. I wish I had a house robot with a speech impediment.
It'd be better, than having a robot with, like, say, a stutter or something like that.
Yeah,
That'd really get old fast.
It's a house elf with a stutter. That'd be great.
All right. So,
I don't know. I wish he was in it. I thought that'd be kind of cool. But no,
yeah.
Maybe they replaced that with Rob.
But they didn't really get into his personal life really at all in the movie. So
No.
But it's fine. It didn't.
They kind of did towards the end a little
bit. But I mean,
yeah, I haven't. Yeah. All right. So yeah.
Dead air.
Dead air.
Soundbite.
Mega City Municipal Code 213. Willful destruction of property, that's 2 years. Code 310, illegal possession of assault weapons, 5 years. Code 457, resisting arrest, 20 years.
Allowing dead air on podcast, 10 years.
Unacceptable.
And a box of chocolates.
Hey! Harry Morgan was in this.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for the Dexter fans, it's always really funny because you see him crop up in a lot of different things.
Yeah, you do.
You're like, hey, it's Harry Morgan.
I had totally forgotten he was in this movie.
That and Lundy.
Yeah.
You see him pop up everywhere. And you're like, hey,
it's Lundy. Yay. I think another. I don't know if I like this or not, but it was pretty much Judge Dredd first coming in like. I think, all the judges should be, badass, super badass. And the first two judges you meet, the Hershey and the other guy.
One was like a trainee.
So. Yeah. Hershey and then the trainee.
As soon as they got out of their little law bikes or whatever, they just immediately ducked behind it and they're like, oh god, we need backup! Ah!
Well, Hershey apparently was only on the job for 1 year, and then the trainee is a trainee. So,
Yeah.
And then here comes Judge Dredd with the RoboCop sequence right there. With him getting off his bike. You see the kickstand go down.
Foot comes down.
Foot comes. Yeah.
Hands slowly up to reveal.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think they really needed these judges. They need to be really feared. I think just seems like it's.
Well, he
Judge
was
Dredd
the
was
only one.
Extremely badass.
Yeah, he was the only one that was feared. I just like the line where he's just standing out there and the rookie's looking at him. He's getting shot all around, but not being hit. And he's like, "What the hell is he doing? He's a sitting duck." He's like, "No, he knows what he's doing." And he starts spurting off the chances of actually getting hit from that distance and
the effective range of the guns they're using. He's like, "There's no problem."
Yeah, he just looks
take these guys.
Yeah, he looks at the rookie. He's like, So why the fuck are you guys hiding behind your bike? Get up.
Yeah. That's cool.
Cut me, Mick.
Now, I'm not I haven't read a lot of Judge Dredd. I am sort of familiar with the characters. I do remember there was a lot more like badass judges. There's 7, 8 of them.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was the whole. I mean, the Rico guy. I mean, that he was in the comics. Well, Rico! I think everybody but Rob Schneider, I think, was in the comics. I don't think his character was in it.
Enrico.
Yeah, Rico was in it.
Rico.
And so was Mango.
Mango.
Rico was in it. I guess he was a big villain in the actual comics.
Now, in the comics, was he actually Dredd's brother? Was that okay? So they kept that.
Yeah, they kept
part,
that pretty accurate.
So
Judge Dredd arrested him earlier on.
Okay,
I think
that was kind of confusing me because they started talking about that later on, where Judge Dredd sentenced his brother. He's like, why'd you let me sentence my brother? I'm like, wait, they didn't know that they were brothers?
Yeah, this is a perfect movie to have that ancillary, read through, going with it. Pull the Wikipedia entry and read all about Judge Dredd, and then go watch the movie. And you're like, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because I started to try to think about it. I'm like, wait, so that's his brother. They're test tube babies, and they found this out by pulling away layers of a photoshopped photo.
Yeah.
So if you're doing Photoshop, photos,
CS5.
Make sure you delete the layers.
PNG files, compress it. There you go. But yeah, it fuck my ass. What was I saying? Soundbite.
I am the law.
Oh, Judge Dredd, it's like you're right here in the room with us.
Wait, you've already said that.
Oh wait.
Now, to be fair, you might think that's the same soundbite, but it's not because he said that 3 different times in the movie. So.
Yeah. We like to keep it, fresh. But what I was saying, so they're test tube babies and they're brothers from the same tube, I guess.
Same genetic making.
Yeah, same genetic makeup. What was the actual name of the project? It was
Janus.
Janus, the Janus Project. And so apparently they're brothers, and Dredd's the good brother, and Rico is the bad brother.
Rico is bad, brother. Yeah. Come on down to Rico's, where you get pasta pie every day.
It's like Jacob and the Man with No Name on Lost.
Well, see, I'm very disappointed because down here I went to Janus Landing one time and I didn't see any of this shit.
So, anyways,
they didn't really land there.
Oh. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So he didn't know that he arrested his brother, or did? Shit. You know what?
Well, I
have that whole explanation right here. Why don't I just fucking play it instead of me trying to remember? Because I fucking get it together, Ben.
I should have put you down myself, personally.
I never understood that. Why did you judge me? Why did you judge me?
You killed innocent people.
The means to an end.
You started a massacre.
I caused the revolution.
You betrayed the law. Law.
Oh, Judge Dredd, it's like you're right in the room with us.
I fucking hate both of you. All right, let's play the backstory, okay? Here we go.
4 decades ago, DNA samples were taken from the original castle. One was chosen, mine. We altered it to enhance the best qualities and screen out the worst weaknesses, frailties. We created you.
You didn't create me, sir. I have a family.
Well,
at the academy, you told me they were killed when I was very young.
A lie.
I have a picture of them.
A fake. We lied to both of you.
Both?
There was another infant created in that experiment, but something went wrong. Genetically mutated into the perfect criminal.
I have a brother?
All right, so there you go. That's his backstory. Apparently, he didn't know that.
And yeah, that's pretty much. Well, I think in the comic he knew that Rico was his brother. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I think he knew it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat Nick is. I really didn't read a whole lot of that comic.
Yeah,
it was basically one of those. The movie came out, so let's go read the comics.
Yeah, we didn't say why he was convicted. All right, let's backtrack a little bit. Judge Dredd was convicted of murder in the movie. That's how he gets cast out and everything. But there was evidence, which I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, that's kind of interesting. That whenever they shoot their lawgiver,
lawgiver 2 or whatever.
The lawgiver is the guns that they have, and the lawgiver 2, I think it was the one where it has voice activated rounds,
DNA security,
and the DNA security. Whenever you pull the trigger, it gives a DNA pattern onto the bullet that shoots off, and whatever.
Not to mention, if you pick it up and you're not a judge, it freaking fries your ass.
Fries your.
That's kind of cool.
Which that was kind of cool. So
I'm still not quite sure how that logic carried over to him, Judge Dredd, getting framed for murder, because it's not like Rico was his identical twin, so he didn't have the same DNA.
Well, they were supposedly they were from the same test tube,
batch,
I guess. So they had the same DNA.
They would have, they kind of have. I guess it was that close of a match that they're like, well, it's Dredd's.
Yeah,
that's just.
It wasn't totally explained in the movie. It just sort of happened.
Yeah,
you're just like, okay,
it's a good indication that everything's not always as cut and dry as they would like you to assume.
Yeah,
and there's always the law is not black and white. There's a lot of gray in there, and that kind of fell into that.
Don't lecture me about the law, Ben.
I am the law.
Oh, Judge Dredd, it's like you're in the room next to us. Oh, that's
Scott?
What?
I knew you'd say that.
Oh, Judge Dredd, it's like you have a broom and you're next to us. Oh, wait.
That was not quite the matching clone there, Scott.
Yeah.
No.
You get what you pay for, so.
Wait, this is free. Oh. Exactly.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
That's math, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next week when we start
do more math.
Science.
Science.
So, what did you guys think of the outfits in this?
This
costume design.
This movie actually, I think, has very good production value.
The production value in this is very, very good. I
think for the year
it was like bleak, but not generic bleak that sort of leaves out all the details.
Yeah. Now I don't know if that hat, because I remember seeing it a long time ago when it first came out on VHS.
What's that, Ben?
We're not going into this. Like I say here, Scott.
Oh, okay.
To pull down a projector and start playing this whole. Okay, all right. Well, I saw it on VHS, and it looks kind of it's VHS quality. And then this one it was Blu-ray, so I mean it was a high quality HD, and it looks fantastic in HD.
Way better than I expected.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here going,
was this remastered or anything like that?
Must have been. Yeah, because most of the time when you watch an old movie I should say an older movie like this in high def, you just sit there going, oh god, I'm going to be able to see the freaking joining compound where they freaking slathered together the walls, and look, that metal wall has nails in it. Stupid crap like that. But they did
only really Scott would notice those things.
Yeah, we would be like, look at the blue vein on her tit. That's what we would do. Right, Nick? Because we're men.
Great.
Mister, I am the law.
Oh, Rob Schneider is... Wait a minute. That's not Judge Dredd at all.
Yeah. I think the whole costumes for the judges were a bit too shiny for this rustic, big metal fortress that they all worked in.
It's very imperial looking.
Yeah.
I look at it going back to the whole Roman Empire type of deal. You have your people that are sitting there begging and you can't afford anything. They're in their robes or their little tattered clothes.
Yep.
Then you have the Roman soldiers, nice, colorful, gold, all that shit, looking very god-esque type of look, and that's how I looked at that. These are the law givers. I don't know.
Yeah, it was an intimidation thing.
Yeah, it was an intimidation.
I mean, because you see some sort of raggedy, regular person standing around in these sort of slum areas, and then some dude comes up in huge freaking arm, huge freaking shoulder pads and shiny stuff everywhere, looking, all sort of neat and trim and all that sort of stuff. It's an intimidation thing.
Let's look at it this way. You have a meter maid coming after you.
Oh no.
You're not really intimidated.
Nah.
you have a beat cop coming after you. Okay, you're starting to get a little intimidating. You have the fucking SWAT team coming after you.
You better run, bitch.
You're like, fuck this shit. And that's what this is. It's that SWAT team type of mentality. That, bulky, shiny shit that just shows you we're here to
and
fuck you up.
They come in on motorcycles, so you're getting screwed if he catches up with you, because they're not taking you back to the freaking precinct.
They ain't putting you on the back of their bike there and letting you hold on for dear life. No, they're gonna drag your ass.
You ready to be judged? I just wanted to jump in on the conversation again.
Oh, hi. This is a good.
How's your tiny tower going?
That's good.
It's good.
Right. Good. I was actually looking up because I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I just saw the name Versace in the costume design credits, and I'm like, right. I wonder if that was the same Versace that we all know and love.
I don't know if I'd love him or really know him.
You will love him.
Okay.
Oh, man. Wow.
So anyway, take that for what it's worth. Somebody go out there and do the research and let us know, because I don't really feel like
it was really good costume design on there. Nothing really looked kind of chintzy.
Well, you know who I think who I'm gonna give the badass looking costume design or makk-up department award to? The cyborg Tingrin man. In the Angel Gang,
the one of the cannibals,
dude with missing one arm and other arm was bulked up with freaking all sorts of crazy gadgets and knives and everything.
Metal thing he was pretty badass.
It was a very fucked up looking Borg.
Can we play a soundbite of him, because I just liked his voice in it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
You crooks are under arrest.
Is that so? Let me crush him, Paul.
That was pretty badass. You can tell there was some costume design guys who was like, that's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the special effects makeup on that was really good.
Yeah,
it was really cool because he had that dial on the top of his head that was sort of set his mood.
It kind of reminded me of Bane almost.
Instead of an angry button, there's an angry dial.
Because the guy his paw. You killed my paw.
Anybody that talks like that is just awesome. Yeah. It's hillbilly, hills have eyes type guy.
Yeah, he was using that to he's like, all right, this is fuck you time. It's kind of like in Every Which Way But Loose, where Clint Eastwood's buddy there turned his hat backwards whenever shit was about to go down.
Yeah,
the same way Dad's like, all right, let's turn this dial up to 11.
Yeah,
and then Judge Dredd comes down. He's like, "No, we're turning you back down to off."
That was kind of funny. Yeah. He's fighting him. He's just like, "Shut up!" Turns the dial off.
Yeah, the guy just collapses.
Yeah,
kind
of funny.
It was interesting, but who turned him back on? Because he came back later.
Yeah, maybe he's aware.
Backup generators kicked in. I don't know.
Skynet is now aware. It's online and aware.
I always sort of wondered if he wanted to get more, pissed off, he could just do it himself. I'm just not angry enough today. I'm feeling pretty passive. Click, 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 click.
I can just see that threat.
God damn it! I said no ketchup on my mac and cheese.
He's just like, yeah. So there were cannibals.
Yeah, they ate people. I don't know if that was true to the continuity of the comic books.
Which I don't know if that was really needed though, because they never ate anyone or got close to eating anyone. They could have
they showed some guy sitting there tied up on a spit in the back.
Yeah, but you could have just cut that part out, and you didn't need to know that they were cannibals. All you needed to know was that they were.
Somebody worked very hard.
People.
Somebody worked very hard on that piece. It could have. Nobody would have noticed. They hadn't looked at. Needed to zoom in and stuff.
It could have just been like, hey, this is the futuristic Deliverance right here. What you couldn't just do that?
Sure. Well, one thing,
push Rob Schneider down, say squeal like a pig, and get him fucked by a cyborg. Come on.
Okay.
Tattoo of the Iron Man. Let's do it.
No, don't ever watch it. Yeah. Anyway, I think one thing that's kind of really interesting that you can tell, I think they knew that people weren't familiar with the source material of this, just from this one line that's in this part where he's talking to the Angel Gang, and that line goes as follows.
The legendary Angel family. Cursed as pirates, murderers, scavengers, and of course, scumbags.
Oh, that'll win him over.
So that's good proof that they just kind of knew what they were doing. They're like, oh, we got to get these characters introduced somehow and let everyone know that they're the most feared gang known to man.
But then they died off very fast.
Yep.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, very Deus Ex Machina that they just just so happened to show up in the exact same location where that plane was flying around. But whatever.
Yeah, it's sort of weird because the way that they presented them getting shot down, that prison ship or whatever.
Yeah.
They sort of made it look like the Angel Gang sort of planned it.
Yeah,
but
I think
sort of not.
Yeah,
I don't know
what I was looking for. What I took away from it was the guy that took over the council or whatever.
I don't remember his name, but I know
the captain
who you're
from
talking about.
Das Boot.
I don't remember his name.
That was the other movie that he was in. Because I'm sitting, I'm like, I remember that I've referred to this guy from Das Boot before. House of the Dead. He was in House of the Dead. He was the captain.
Was he?
He was the captain of the ship. He was Captain Kirk.
Okay.
Oh, you're right.
He was.
Oh,
I knew we watched a movie with him before. Damn it.
I was afraid of this. You watch enough shitty movies and you start seeing the same people over
in the same
and
movies.
over again. And,
but yeah, he. I took away that he kind of planned the whole. He was part of the whole conspiracy of the frame job for Judge Dredd. Then they ship him off to Aspen because apparently in the future Aspen is no longer a vacation paradise. It's a detention camp. Yeah.
Why not? It's the Auschwitz of the future.
It's the Auschwitz of the future.
You will ski, but it'll be very early in the morning and very late at night. Damn it.
We will have machine gun fire.
And there are landmines. Your skiing vacation will be very unpleasant.
When you get back to the lodge, the coffee will not be very warm.
And the snow bunnies will be extremely obese. Worst Aspen vacation ever.
I'm never going back here again, you guys. It sucks.
You have to attend the timeshare seminar.
So I want to talk about the end of the movie because there was one thing that I really thought looked badass, and then they just dropped the ball on. But at the end of the movie, it was very Clone Wars-esque. Like they killed out all the judges. Yeah, they killed out all the judges. There's very few of them left, so they decided to enact this Project Janus to make clone judges.
Yeah, you're right.
That Rico would end up controlling. And they looked really cool. Like when they showed them, they weren't like fully made yet. Like the cloning process was supposed to take like 12 hours or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
were like.
That's a fast fucking cloning process.
Yeah. Well,
they were like slimy and
future advancement
stuff.
I like how it goes from we can't clone them because we need them right now, and they have to mature and it takes years and years. It's like, oh, don't worry, we have this button over here that we can just do it in 12 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, here we're going to hit the Deus Ex Machina button that specifically states that cloning properties have gotten much better in the past 50 years. Boop, done.
Yeah.
So it looked really cool. It was kind of like they had like the muscle skeleton type thing going, and they were like had cream cheese lathered all over them or something.
No mouths and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no mouths, or like there was like that plaster kind of look over them all, and they were all gooey and stuff. And they started getting out of their shells, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a kick-ass kind of like zombie moment. Like and Judge Dredd has to fight all of these things,
and that's when.
Nothing happened.
They exploded.
Yeah.
The like, whole room exploded.
You're like, oh, that's okay.
I think what happened. I'm just throwing this out here. I mean, you guys could agree with me or not. Is that they started to do that? They were going to do that, but they spent all their fucking money on
paying Versace for
costumes. on all the special effects, makeups, and everything that they looked at, and they go, "Fuck, we can only put these costumes on 2 people." And we only have costumes that go from the top of their head to their torso, and that's it.
We can't afford clone pants.
Yeah, we can't afford. They can't afford pants. Which
blow them up.
Yeah, blow them up.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, so there you go.
And then they ended up in the top of the Statue of Liberty. There's a John McClane moment where somebody's hanging off a building and somebody falls to their death or something. I don't know.
John McClane.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
I didn't really understand the whole ending where Rico got shot. Like, Judge Dredd shot him or something. I don't really understand.
No, he didn't shoot him. Rico went to go shoot Judge Dredd. Actually, whatever.
Yeah, it's not a really good soundbite.
It's a good soundbite. I mean, it's a good visual. You can see it. But Rico went to go shoot Judge Dredd, but the lawgiver gun was out of that ammunition.
Right.
And Dredd grabbed it and
set it to flare.
Okay.
And shot the flare gun off, and that distracted Rico, kind of blinded him because, you ever have a flare go off in your face?
Yeah,
I haven't, but I'm pretty sure that it's not going to, be very nice.
That's part of my morning ritual between that and macing myself.
That's your alarm clock.
Taser, mace, flare, taser, flare.
So that distracted him, and then Judge Dredd threw him off the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And said this line.
Court's adjourned.
Oh, Judge Dredd, it's like you're right up here on the boom with us.
What?
Oh, hey, Scott.
What?
I knew you'd say that.
Oh, Judge Dredd, it's just, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore.
I have a sneaking suspicion that soundbite is going to take over the spot of the he chose poorly soundbite.
You mean?
He chose poorly.
Or you'll just keep both of them in your arsenal.
Guaranteed, when we release the movie dump board game, those will both be in there.
I think we're going to run into copyright issues on that one.
Maybe. You know what our lawyers would say?
What?
He chose poorly.
And do you know why?
Why?
I am the law!
All right, I've
just never get in an argument with Nick when he has a soundboard.
I'm taking it away from you. All right, here we go. Are we done? Can we?
Nope.
Where in the hell are you from anyway, Private? Sir, Texas, sir! Holy dog shit! Texas, only steers and queers come from Texas, Private Cowboy. And you don't much look like a steer to me, so that kind of narrows it down.
Wrong
Nick.
movie again.
Yes, but still a good movie.
Yeah.
Are we done? Can we get to the final reviews?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right.
Are you gonna let this song keep playing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's just fucking do our final reviews. All right, Nick, you go ahead since you decided to play this song.
All right.
It's not a tumor.
What?
L7 Winnie.
All right, no.
The meatloaf! Fuck!
Sorry about this. I know it's a bit silly.
Oh, he got it. Oh, what the asshole?
Oh, that was a close one.
I had to unplug it. All right.
Man.
Oh.
Man, it's like you weren't even trying. You were just smashing buttons with your hand. Man, what did we tell you, Nick, when we were making this thing? Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity.
Well, I thought we got rid of all the other ones and wanted to play them again. I thought it was kind of fun and nostalgic a little bit.
Some of those we haven't even used.
I know.
Jeez.
We just had them sitting there. We just never used them. They're just ran. And for an occasion like this. All right, can we please go on and do our final reviews? Nick, do it.
I feel naked without a soundboard plugged in, though.
Just
You're in soundboard timeout, mister.
Yes, no more soundbite for you.
All right, Scott, do his final review.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll kick this off.
I'm just gonna plug this back in over.
No, you're not.
No.
No. I'm taking it away from you. Here.
Oh.
Okay, so this movie, it wasn't as bad as I originally thought it was. I remember this movie being, I mean, it wasn't like shitty, but I remember it being worse than how I remember seeing it now, I guess. It actually translates pretty well over to HD also. I don't know, there's not a lot to say about it. It's one of my guilty pleasure movies. Oh, Nick's going forward again.
No, I'm not.
No,
Continue.
All right. Okay, so it is one of my guilty
Back up, soundboard!
I am the law! I am the law! You betray the law! You idiot! I did it!
I knew you'd say that.
All right, that's it. No,
put it. No, what are you doing?
Oh,
No,
man, you've lost your.
man. Dude.
Jesus!
Oh.
Oh man, we're
I kind of paid for that.
the auto Scott was on there.
I don't care. That's it.
How am
No
I
more.
You know how long it took me to
more.
reprogram the auto Scott?
No more.
That's
Great,
it.
Nick, you ruined it for us all. Guess the movie dump just isn't ever going to have a soundboard ever again.
Oh.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
That's it. All right, continue, Scott. What was your review?
Well, Okay, I guess I'll continue. I'm sort of depressed now, but
I feel like I should hit a button somewhere, but I don't have anything.
Just hit one in your mind. Just go off in your mind.
All right.
I'm just gonna poke the there. It's not really doing anything.
Okay. Well, Nick's all entertained. I guess I'll do my review now. This movie I actually like. I'd give it a 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10?
1 out of 10.
Really?
I would totally watch this movie again. I would probably watch it.
1
again.
1 out of 10. That means that you would also purchase it.
Yeah, I would. It's a lot. It's actually a lot better than I remember it.
Yeah.
It's definitely going up there in one of my guilty pleasure movies.
Okay.
So that's my review. I liked it. I don't know what you guys think.
Nick, you go first, or you go next.
I think a 1 out of 10 is way generous with this. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was that super great. It is kind of a guilty pleasure one. Stop menacing the hammer towards me, man.
Just in case you have another soundboard hidden right away somewhere.
I'm putting my iPhone in my pocket. And
I saw you creeping that out.
Away from it. I think, this movie had some problems, I think. It was, overall, I think for when it came out, it was actually really good. I think it is, I think it gets a worse rap than it really deserves. But there were some moments I got a little bit bored in there. I think the dialogue was a little bit long. Action could have been a bit better. There was stuff in here they didn't need. I'm just gonna wrap it up real fast. I think I'm gonna give this it a 5.
5?
Right in the
really?
Yeah, 5 out of 10. 1 being best, 10 being worst. He gets a 5.
All right.
Okay.
Not knowing anything from the comic and going into this with the only knowledge that I have of Judge Dredd being the movie. I thought it was done rather well. I can understand the argument that you have with they're not supposed to take their helmets off. It's supposed to be looking like the law has no face, and I could see this definitely as a sequel movie. Maybe if they did one where it was more of an origin story and kind of they could have meshed this up into 2 different films maybe. It does look good in HD. It's a fantastic transfer. It looks really, really good. I wouldn't say it's along the lines of like Blade Runner good on HD, but I mean it's right up there. It's definitely right up there. I really wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure because it's a good movie, and I wouldn't mind saying, it's a good movie. And I think there's actually a lot of people out there that think that this is a good movie. I think it just gets a bad rep because it's that type of genre, and in the mid '90s of that whole gloom and doom in the future, and plus Sylvester Stallone, it just kind of automatically gives it a bad rap. That being said, 1 being the best, 10 being the worst, I would give it a 3. I would definitely watch this movie again multiple times. I wouldn't even mind buying the DVD with the special features on there if they had any good ones.
Yeah.
So
to be fair, I do think the transition to DVD or Blu-ray was really well on this one.
Yeah, it was very well on this one. All right, so it's 1, 5, 3.
Yep.
16.
No one gave it a 16.
Now that we can count, things get easier.
Yeah.
Our scale is now 1 to 550.
I'm kind of feeling like remorse for smashing that because I feel like there's
sort of down. I mean, Nick was abusing it. Nick was abusing the soundboard there, but then you just smashed it. I don't know what to do. What are we going to do next week? Are we going to tape deck it or something?
No, I
well, tune in next week when we try and figure this out.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we could have a soundboard by then.
I had, and next week I had a movie all picked, and I had a soundbite pulled from it that I was going to play.
Is next week your
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Wait, you had a soundbite on the board?
Yeah, I did. I had a
for
soundbite
next
on
movie?
there for the next movie.
Oh, man.
And now no one can hear what it is.
I'm sorry.
So, ass.
I'm sorry.
You're a dick.
Well, do you want to tell them what it is?
Can
we? Is there
a
trailer that we can show them?
Probably.
Like send put a link or I don't know.
Leave me alone. I'm gonna be in the corner.
I'm sorry. Well, what's the movie? Do you want to tell us?
The soundbite machine so much.
Okay.
Yeah, they're. I don't know how I came across this movie, but
Netflix.
I know it's on Netflix. I don't know how I found it though. I think I was looking for like Mystery Science Theater or something like that, and I just came across this. But it's a little movie called Mystery Teen. It's either going to suck or be awesome. I think
the title
looks
makes it sound shitty.
I think it has potential to be a very, very awesome movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I liked the premise of it. It seems like something that's right up our alley.
Yeah, I would have liked to play the soundbite that sold me on it, but it's basically three guys who had their own mystery team when they were kids, going out solving crimes and stuff in the neighborhood. They get hired to solve a murder of a little girl or their parents or something.
Yeah, a little girl's parents.
So soundbite would have been awesome to play, but
yeah, when you said it like that, it just doesn't sound as good.
Yeah.
Well, go look for the
join
the
us as we
trailer.
listen to Mystery Team and try and figure out who murdered the soundboard machine. Ben, sorry.
When our sound bites are on tape deck and epic monotone.
Otto Scott was in that thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm even gonna.
Well,
I guess I gotta start over.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, shit. It's a board with a few buttons on it. We could get another one programmed.
But they lit up.
It was this close to artificial intelligence. Groundbreaking.
Well.
Okay. All right. So, Mystery Team for next week.
Yep.
Make sure to go to our website. Check out
a revamped website, which looks all nice and pretty.
Yeah, it does. It looks very nice. If you haven't been to the Movie Dump website in a while, go check it out.
Yes. Yep. Hector did a pretty good job on that.
Yeah. He's still around. I don't know.
Yeah, he came back for a few weeks. He still does some stuff. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
do some stuff, man.
Yeah, I totally took down the Tumblr, and he's like, oh man, I had some stuff for the Tumblr. I don't know why he's Canadian now. But, yeah, like no,
Hector is a very universal name.
He sort of picks up accents way too quick. He visits like one place, picks up an accent, goes to another place.
He visits Clearwater and then he goes over to Tampa.
He's a horrible master of disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you want to hit us up with all of. Tell them where they need to
go to themoviedump.com. You'll figure it all out from there.
Yes, or follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Email us at youthrewpoo@me.com.
At who?
youthrewpoo@me.com.
I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
Yes, and go check out the videos that we put up on YouTube from these fantastic movies that we watch.
Yep.
And try to watch the ones from Epic Movie that we put up, because apparently Fox did not like us.
Yeah, boy, cease and desist letter there.
Use your imagination.
We said some shit about Epic Movie, and Fox is like, whoa, hey.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Fox.
Somebody lawyered up on us. You know what? I would play a I Am the Law soundbite right now, but
you
can't.
You can just do it. Just do the I Am the Law.
Very
good. Sounds just like him. All right. Well, that's it for this week on the Movie Dump podcast. Thanks for listening. I am Ben.
I'm Judge Scott.
I'm Nick Brown, the robot Snyder.
Fuck! The music is on there.
Yeah, I know.
This is awkward.
Yep.
Quick, start singing something.
Dun 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 dun.
I think it's just gonna.
Dun 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 dun.
All right.
Dun 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 dun.
Stop, Scott. Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Enjoy your week.
Dun 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 dun.
We'll have this fixed next week.
Dun 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 dun.
Bye.
Dun 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 dun.
Da da.